Hey, so you going about being a virgin though? So like, why is that? Like, I feel like you got everything that it takes to have that lost like, bro, way back. Like, is it because more so like you don't know what you're into yet? Like, is it your sexuality or like what?
Definitely not the sexuality. A lot of people do be thinking, me being a virgin is like trying to maybe I'm like closeted or something, but I don't get where that thought process even comes from.
Okay, but let me tell you this though, like, don't ever use the word never.
What was some things you said never to? That ended up happening.
I'm gonna name specific things.
Name specific. What happened,
bro? I never in my life thought that I would go about.
Mr. Brandon Cardoso, welcome to the Parker Reid Experience. Casual day, but how you been?
I've been great, man. Thanks for having me once again. I'm actually really honored to be here on the Parker Reid Experience.
Yeah, it's calm, but I feel like today I want to get to know you better.
Okay.
I don't think we ever had like a full like sit down, just get to know you better. So I mean,
no, this would be good for the both of us. Just a nice little catching up. I think you and I be busy doing what we do best every day, and we never really have time to really sit down and catch up. And I think this right here I can really relate to whenever me and Julian be doing the podcast. I feel like Julian and I, as much as we do a lot of things together, majority of times we don't really have time to just sit down and talk. Usually we just kind of hear each other's day and catch up, usually on the Wild podcast. So I think that's exactly what this is going to be, and I'm actually really excited. So thank you again.
Yeah, it's going to be calm. But I just want to know, recently I noticed you're not going out as much. I'm just wondering, what's the thought process? Was that intentional?
For me, I like to treat it within like a reward, right? I feel like, whenever you get a lot of things done, at the end of it, you want to treat yourself to something, especially working out. You work out, you want to eat healthy, but then you want to treat yourself to that one like guilty pleasure, which is, ice cream, chocolate cake, whatever it is, You stop doing it often because you realize it's not good for you. So you want to more so treat it as like a reward. So once you go about, working that hard, as I would say we all do, at the end of the day, whatever free time it is that you have is, I would say, time for you to go out, enjoy yourself, and just kind of be a lot more, I guess, open-minded too, because I think it's really important to go about having, just some fun. Why not?
But not even about having fun, but you've been like just locked in. I feel like you've been more locked in lately.
Okay.
I gotta say, I respect it, but was that intentional? Like, you didn't really, you're just in the room all day, working, all that stuff. How's that been going? You like that? You prefer that?
No, I do. Yeah, I think I really enjoy just kind of being in my own space more so. And if that's me being locked up in my room, trying to get all these custom contents done and any other things I got going on done just to finish it, and then I go about enjoying myself afterwards. I feel like when it comes, my apologies for my alarm. You see, I'm so busy I can't tell what time it is, so I set alarms every 2 hours.
Oh yeah, that makes sense.
You know what I mean? Like, I didn't think it was 3 o'clock. I thought it was 12, bro.
You got the 30 minutes alarm.
Basically, every like 30. It keeps me on track of what time it is during the day. Because what is today? Wednesday?
I don't even. What day is? Oh shit, it's Monday.
Oh, Monday, bro. See, you know what I mean?
I genuinely had no clue.
That's what I'm telling you. Like I don't even really go about knowing what day of the week it is. Never mind what time it is. So I have to set an alarm. But anyways, back to the question. So yeah, me being locked in my room within my own space, I really try to go about just focusing on what needs to get done. I'm just really locked in right now, and it is the month of June. It is the last month, by the way.
Last day of the month.
Last day of the month, yeah. So I'm just getting ready for July. You know what I mean? So really, really locked in. But I appreciate you noticing.
What do you plan to do for July? 4th of July is coming up. All the fireworks, everything.
Well, tomorrow actually I'm going to be in Vegas celebrating it with my family. Not often do I get to go about seeing my family. So within knowing
I'm actually curious. Not trying to cut you off. Does that bother you not seeing your family as much or whatever?
Bro, this podcast can go forever if you want to ask that question in a good way, because I have so many ways of thinking about it. But I do want to get back to you on that one. But within this week, knowing that I'm going to be out for an entire week for the 4th of July with my family, we had to work double last week. You know what I mean? Of course, going about doing content for then the week of, and now I got to go about doing content for the week after that I won't be able to because I'm going to be out with my family. So it was like a double work day last week, So really, really locked in, just to answer that question. Now, does it bother me not seeing my family? I just consider that a part of growing up. When you are the age that I currently am, which is not too far off, not too far off.
Some
would say 5 to 6 year difference.
Yeah, almost.
You know, you got to learn to, you know, you are in this world yourself. You know, everything within this world I would consider a free for all. You know, not everyone's going to uplift you. Not everyone's going to help you. You know, you got to really go about focusing on yourself. Now, within you going about depending on your parents, for how long are you going to depend on your parents? You know, I would say within the age range, you know, I'm not saying being in your 20s still living with your parents is a bad thing now, but I do want to say this, like, you know, the earlier the better, right? See, I moved out of my parents' house at 22 years old. You know, not many people can say that. You know, there are people that are in their 30s that are still living with their parents. And again, nothing wrong with that. I moved out at
18. Dude.
Okay, you know what I'm saying? So that's really good though.
Yeah,
you
it's
know?
actually, but I think it's so transformative. You know what I mean?
Yeah. No, it is. And again, to go back to your question though, like, does it bother me? It doesn't. I think, you know, within the first month, 2-3 months, you get kind of homesick, but that's because you're trying to adapt to what it's like living on your own. And as much as I do think it's really important to go about within the survival instincts of just more so like, oh, I'm on my own now, like that's really, really important. And I feel like a lot of people who are at least younger than me don't know that as of yet, because there's a lot of people that either mature at a young age or they mature later on until they realize, oh, hey, by the way, life isn't about handouts. You know, it's about having to focus on what you want to do within your future. And that's what I think is so interesting about life, is that everyone has a purpose in their life. It's whatever your goal is. And it's like a video game if you think about it. You know, like like you grow up, you have a dream as a kid to be like a police officer, a firefighter, whatever it is. And then it's your goal now to go and achieve that dream that you always have. Now, of course, as you grow up.
Was it your dream to do what you're doing now?
It is. I'm 100%. You know, I've always loved the social media aspect of things. Growing up, I saw the future when I was 15, 14 doing Vine videos. I used to go live on this platform at 13 years old, which is funny enough. I used to watch Julian on this platform. It's called YouNow, and it was strictly only live streaming. And what it was, and I don't know if you're familiar, you're 19, maybe you're like 5 years old when this app came out, but Vine, right? It's called Vine.
Obviously, I knew Vine.
6-second videos. I used to post there every day. Every day. And it's funny, before you ask what videos I've posted, it was literally what TikTok is. I would go on like a CapCut kind of app, even though CapCut wasn't a thing back then. It was like an app just like CapCut, and basically I would just lip sync an audio through my computer speakers, and then I would get that video and I'll put it under like one of those CapCut edit videos, and I'll put the original audio underneath it, so it sounded like it was like a TikTok kind of thing.
Like an edit?
Basically, yeah, but I wouldn't edit myself. It was more so just like putting the audio underneath it, because you know TikTok, you just tap on a sound, you lip sync that sound. That wasn't a thing back then. Like, you had to go to an editing software to put in that sound, and then I would upload it on Vine, like just lip syncing, because people. I did it one time to be funny, but I got like 50. If for those who know Vine, it was loops. It was like continuous views. I had like 65,000 my first video. I'm like, damn, that's
and it
crazy.
Was the same exact shit as like Musically.
Same thing, just lip syncing, shirtless, same thing. And the guidelines wasn't even a thing because there was no ads back then, so they weren't as strict. And so I would do it shirtless at the time, 13 years old, doing these little lip sync videos on Vine.
Did you mature early? Because you were saying some people mature later and like some mature more early. Because of the fucking being shirtless at 13, dude.
Right. No, I mean, like I said, everything was more so trial and error. I mean, bro, were you mature at 13? What was that, like 4 years ago for you? Like, if you think if you think about it, bro, like no one's really mature at 13. You know, it's more so about like what you know and what you want to know. It's kind of pick and choose kind of thing. But anyways, the only way I could go about interacting with these Vine people, like my Vine audience, there was no live streaming platform. That never existed on there. So there was a live streaming platform that was trending at the time that I would go about trying to communicate with my audience, and it was called YouNow. And again, it was a whole separate platform, nothing to do with Vine, completely separate. But I see all these other big Vine creators go on there, and I used to watch these Vine videos, and it's these Vine creators. And so I would be on some like, whoa, they are able to communicate live with these people, because Instagram Live wasn't a thing too back then. You know, they didn't have Instagram Live or TikTok, none of that. So me 13, I went live on YouNow, and funny enough, I would see who would be on the leaderboard, and it was Julian on the leaderboard, and I would see all these other creators, but it's so funny because Julian was definitely younger than me going on these things and be on the leaderboard. I'm like, bro, who is this kid getting all these like viewers and stuff? And so I would see him and try to get some kind of knowledge out of him, more so of how I can grow my audience. But then other creators as well that him and I actually both know, and we're actually still cool with till this day. So crazy how everything just was a full circle. Anyways, long story short, just to keep on going, I was really grinding the YouNow live thing, and people would send me gifts, and those gifts would turn into money, which is what TikTok Live is now. And I ended up getting a partner sponsorship on YouNow, which they would pay me within monthly.
You had a retainer?
Basically, so it kind of is basically what it was, you know what I mean? And Julian had it too, you know, so that's why I was like, dang, like this, you can really make you money. So that's why I fell in love within the live streaming platform. And then Vine shut down, unfortunately, whatever, right? But it wasn't my income. I wasn't making money off of it. I basically used Vine and do those lip sync videos to promote my YouNow live and go live on there. So all those audience followed me on the YouNow. So then I wasn't making money off Vine. It was more so just promotion, right? Yeah. So then when Vine shut down, I was still going live on YouNow, but then people were telling me, hey, you know this app called Musical.ly? It's hot right now. You should tap in. Same concept as what I was doing on Vine, the lip sync thing. That's why it got brought up to me, because that's what my whole Vine page was. Bro, and then the Musical.ly app had a live streaming feature that they were testing out, and it was called Lively, and I went live on there. Bro, when my first live, I made $5,000 at 14.
5 bands?
At 14 years old. I made $5,000, and I told my mom what I was doing this whole entire time. She didn't know I was going live or whatever, because my room was in the basement. Everything else was upstairs, and so I had the whole basement to myself. So it was more so like a secret thing, because I didn't want no one else to know what I was doing. I didn't want my mom to be restricting me for my dreams, because my mom was really big on like going to school, college, this and that. But then when I made that $5,000 in like under 24 hours, I had to tell her.
So with that 5K in like 24 hours, did your mom ever like, or family in general, just ask you for money? Or
no, my mom wasn't really aware of how long this was gonna last for me, so she really wanted me to save up as much as possible. But my mom has never asked for anything. You know, she has her own job. She's you know, obviously doing very well for herself. But you know, at the end of the day, like, I'm always gonna take care of my family no matter what. You know, I feel like it's really important that when you get to a certain position in life, if you're able to do so, you know, obviously take care of your family, especially if they really were rooting for you in the very beginning. You know, I really do appreciate how supportive my mom was, even till this day. My mom loves me doing what I do now, and you know, it's funny enough, she follows everyone's Wildin account.
Everyone's?
Does she
follow me?
Yeah, she knows you too. She does follow you.
Well, I've spoken to her a couple times.
Yeah, no, but she loves everyone that I live with, and that's how supportive she is. That it's not only like going about following my Wildin, she is so supportive that she's willing to follow everyone that I associate myself with, because she's really supportive of anyone, like literally anyone and everyone. Bro, she even follows like other creators. Like, she follows Drake. She follows Braxton.
Dude, that is fucking wild.
Yeah, she follows everyone that we tap in with, because she's that supportive and that invested. That she is that, and I love that, by the way. Like, I never thought about it in any other way. It's more so just like, this is a mother who is trying to have some type of connection and understanding of what her son is doing, and wants to know more about it. And this is, mind you, a mother that wanted her son to go to college and be, you know, let's say like a doctor or a dentist, to, you know, do something with his life. I ended up going a whole different direction. Luckily, it worked out in my favor, and she's willing to support me and my friends to make sure that they're also doing
the whole path.
Exactly.
Dude, and that's, yeah, because you know what's crazy is, like, nowadays I'd be talking to my mom, and she still be wanting me to go to college and shit like that. I'm like, whatever. You know, I feel like it's got to be a bit longer, maybe like a year doing the stuff, then eventually move from that. But you know,
and just because within your position, right? Because I've been doing this for years, bro. I'm 25 years old, and I've done this since I was 13 years old. Mind you, 13. I've been doing this for like 13, 12
pretty
years
much half
or so.
your life, yeah.
Pretty much, right? If you really think about it, that's how dedicated I was, and my mother's seen it from the kind of the beginning. I know you had just started, you know, so I don't blame her for thinking that way. My mom just has seen the passion that I had throughout my whole high school, my whole middle school, my whole everything. Like, she's seen that. Now I understand you had just getting into the field, even though you're making X amount, which congrats, by the way. You know, I know I started in the very beginning. It was different back then, but the fact within you making X amount that you're making right now, like, I just want to say I'm really proud of you, and I'm glad that you went about, you know, doing that for yourself, and I hope your family is too. Now within school, like, you know, I feel like that conversation is more so just like a how long is this gonna really last kind of conversation. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's the biggest thing. It's like, how long is it gonna last? How long is that? But I feel like as long as you're smart with it, there's no way you could like just lose everything within a day. Like
I agree with you. It's just because, and this is like just more so within defense of like, because see, my mother's seen it within years, and she thought about that the entire time. Like, oh, it's not gonna last when he's this age, and it's been lasting, and she can't say anything else no more, especially at this point.
Yeah.
Now, for you who has just been starting all this, like, I would not blame your mother for thinking, much, but especially you making the amount that you're making now. Like, I heard you just hit 6 figures, right?
Yeah.
Bro, congrats. That's insane, bro. That's insane.
Dude, you know what's crazy is like, it hasn't like registered in my mind yet or anything. It's like, it feels like that shit is not even like my money. You know what I mean? Yeah. And maybe that's how other people see it, but I'm not sure. That it like hasn't registered. You know what I mean?
Nah, I believe you.
I feel like, but like in regard to that, like whatever, making X amount, what's any like money advice you could give me? Like, how could I not lose it and just like not blow it all?
I have this thing, and I call it the 20-80 rule. And this is just kind of how I did in the beginning, In the beginning, I did the 20-80 rule. 80 goes to saving, 20 free money. Free money, you go about spending it on whatever you want, fun money, Doesn't mean you always got to do it. It's more so like, you got that 20% you put maybe in your checking, I'm assuming. Go about having fun with that money. 80% straight to your savings, or whatever else you want to go about putting your money into. Something's gonna make you money, Now, of course, if you go about trying to lower the percentage, depending how much you're making, obviously the better for you, right? Because then you will have more savings versus spending. But now, I did in the beginning because I wasn't making X amount, and so I was just trying to save up. But still, 80% is a lot to save if you really think about that.
Do you still do that 20-80?
I lessen it. I lessen it now. I'm more so within that saving aspect of it, because
so you're doing 90-10.
Basically, because when you make more, 10%.
It's like you have to. I feel like you'd have to try to spend 20% of your monthly.
That's not if you want to spend it all. I was more so just saying, like, just to go about on a vacation or whatever.
10%,
yeah,
you're chilling.
Yeah. If you, at least now, 10%, way, like I'm talking about 3-4 years ago, like it wasn't what 10% is now. You know what I'm saying? Like, you hear what I'm saying?
I think, right now I'm doing 95-5.
Sure.
I want to challenge myself, because I think I spent too much on my first month, and I don't even know where it went.
But you deserve it, though.
Dude.
No, but the thing is, though, is that's not a bad. Don't ever think about it as a bad thing. I think that if you make X amount, right, and this is a lot of people's mentality too, and it's nothing that I really disagree with, but I also like have some type of like caution to it, where it's like, when you make a lot of money, right, a lot of people's mentality is, oh, let me buy this nice car with all my money, and it's gonna help me, motivate me to make more. Because then now you're in desperate need of trying to make that money to be able to afford this nice car you just bought, So I do believe that can motivate a lot of people, because no matter what, now you're in that desperate need, desperate want of having to make more money, because now things you're buying, you're trying to afford, Now when it comes to you, whatever it is.
Do you agree with that? Like,
I can see how
make a big purchase.
I just think everyone's motivated differently. Do I agree with that? I mean, of course. I mean, I've seen a lot of people that I personally know that started doing, the
for
blue
you
page.
Personally, though.
Sure, yeah, why not? For sure. In the very beginning, of course, I bought everything that I could ever dream of. And the thing is that I'm not sure even till this day of what more I could really buy that I would actually fulfill me, because I've bought personally everything that I ever wanted. But obviously within my own knowledge of like how much money I have in my savings, of course, how much I'm making, of course, what can I do to make more on top of that if I spend this amount? You know what I mean? There's so many ways you can think about it. Now, for you, it's more so like, bro, you're just starting out. Why would you not want to go about spending X amount on something that you truly love, but only if that can go about motivating you to make that money back times 4 next month, It's all about...
That's why I got to get the euros.
I mean, bro, whatever it is.
I got to get the euros, bro.
Bro, whatever it is that goes about motivating you, I am in true believe that if you do that and not give up and you're truly passionate about what you do, bro, you can go about doing anything you want. It's all about dedication. That's all it is. Yeah. I do want to ask you this question, though, because, like, you and I never really had to, nice little personal talk like we're having right now.
Dude, I'm not going to lie, but before you say that, I feel like the best times we have talks is when you're lit. I feel like that's when we just yap. Yeah. But
can I be honest? I think that's, like, within anybody, I feel like.
Within you just rant about random shit. Yeah. But what was it?
Yeah, so basically it's more so like, I never really got to know what your opinion of Jillian and I were when you came to the crib for the first time. More so, what is it like now knowing what we do on the blue page? Or what is your opinion about the blue page anyways?
What is it or what was it? I mean, back then, I had no clue that, like, dudes could even, like, do it. I mean, I knew guys were doing it, But to tie it back to that, dude, I thought it was like a sex house. Like y'all were just like gay. Like I thought you guys were like straight up just gay. And then I was completely surprised. I'm like, all right, this is actually like a people are gonna. I feel like people would, if they're not already on the other side, they won't get it. But it's like actually like a disciplined like environment. You know what I mean? Like sure, it is the blue page, it is this and that, but it came to realize, all right, you guys do have a work schedule, like what we need to do with everything, and it's constant 24/7. And it wasn't just like a bunch of MFs just running around doing whatever. It's an actual like structured environment where I think that if you take any work environment in that way, it'll be productive. But specifically you and the blue page, it just showed me a whole other world. Initial opinion, I thought you were gay, fucking Julian's.
Okay.
But no, it completely changed. I realized nothing ever went inside of you. Nothing ever went inside of him. And I guess nothing's ever going to go inside of me.
But let me tell you this, though. Like, the word never, okay? No, let me tell you something. And this is someone that's been doing this forever. You know what I'm saying? Forever.
Yeah.
Don't ever use the word never,
So
bro.
something's going to go inside of you.
I don't think so. That's how you say it. Don't ever say never.
Okay.
Okay?
Don't never say never?
Don't never say never, bro.
Okay.
But I'm telling you this right now.
What was, all right, so then what was some things you said never to that ended up happening? And I want the actual, what did you say would never happen?
Half of the things that are on my page already.
You said never.
I'm telling you, like, who look like the fool saying never?
Yeah.
I just don't think that it'll ever come about.
I think that is valid. Like, if you say never, then you're bound to that.
Bro, I'm telling you, it's just like manifesting for something. But it's not even a bad thing, though. It's more so just like, bro, don't say things you can't promise.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Like, you're already in the field already that you said you were never going to be in, right?
That is true.
Bro, just don't ever say.
That's actually crazy.
Bro, don't ever say never, bro. That word shouldn't exist.
Mm.
And mind you too, though, like I think more so within the time of me saying never, like this was like before even Julian came within the picture, because I was doing this for years, you know. Yeah. So these were things that I said never to. But mind you, like Julian and I's dynamic, as you can see too, like we do everything together, right? Yeah. Like of course, trying to find someone that you're really comfortable with doing things with, like you're bound to obviously, you know, break some type of boundaries. You know what I mean? Like it's bound to happen, you know. So luckily, I have someone.
It's bound to happen.
I'm just saying, I just think I got someone within my, you know what I'm saying, within next to me that, you know, is you know, like-minded, you know what I mean? Yeah. Like we both really go about
giving a little hand here.
Sure, you know what I'm saying, a little helpage, you know, helpage. And also too, like we love giving the people what they want, and I'm really grateful and appreciated that everything that I'm doing now, I'm doing it with someone that I'm most comfortable with. And I know him and I have talks all the time where like he also feels the same way too. So it's always within an agreement, you know what I mean? So it makes it more so of like the comfortability, you know? Because I can only imagine within your craziest collab, like within any other creator, like would you do it with them or us?
Well, obviously, yeah, you.
Because you're why?
I already know you. Like,
exactly.
That type of thing.
But within that time, it was never like that though, because I didn't really have anyone at the time, you know what I mean? So that's what I'm saying. There's like boundaries within the time of, but then when you get comfortable with someone, like, you know what I'm saying? It's like, oh, okay.
You can separate it. I think that's the big thing, right? Like, you get comfortable, like, you know, massaging your booty cheeks. Like, that was calm. I mean, would I have done that with anyone else?
That's what I'm asking you.
Yeah, no, definitely not.
That's what I'm saying. So there's like a boundary for everyone within like a certain like circumstance, you know what I mean? But once you're comfortable with someone, it's like, yo, bro, let me rub your cheeks for a bit.
Yeah. You know what I've never done is because I saw Julian tickling you. I guess I'm not at that level yet. I've never gotten invited to tickle you. I want someone to get accustomed of me tickling you. Okay. Like,
you know, there was a time where I actually stopped all custom requests for tickling. I stopped it.
Why?
Bro, I don't like getting tickled, bro. I really didn't. But then I was in the back of my mind, like, I was kind of thinking, I was like, what if I went about bringing it back? But then never really, you know, came to mind again. And then I got this one request. Yeah, bro, this guy was offering me a good amount.
Because if you went 6 months, like how much? Oh, all right, can I do over under?
Okay.
All right, over under 10 bands.
No, under.
Under?
Yeah.
All right, over under 5.
I would say it's right there in the middle.
Okay, so around 5 for the 30-minute one.
Yep. And bro, like, let me ask you this question now, like. You get an offer like that for that price, for that time frame of getting tickled. And mind you, like, think about you doing 30 minutes of something and then there's 30 minutes of that, right? And I just want, because 30 minutes sounds nothing, right?
Yeah.
It sounds nothing.
30 minutes of something you hate, though.
I'm just telling you that. I'm asking you the question, right? I don't know how ticklish you are, but I'm just asking. Well, that's fine. But 30 minutes of just straight wet, oily, and just like fingers going up on you like this, and like under the pits and under the leg, the feet, the everything for 30, bro. Think about it for 10 minutes and think about that times 3.
Yeah. No.
10 minutes, 10 minutes, 10 minutes.
I mean, I do it, but dude.
Hey, so you going about being a virgin though, so like why is that? Like I feel like, you know, you got everything that it takes to, you know, have that lost, like, bro, way back. Like is it because more so like you don't know what you're into yet? Like is it your sexuality or like what
definitely not the sexuality. I think I'm just waiting for the right person. You know, that's how I was raised. You know, I think I'm kind of traumatized. I never said this before, but I remember summer between 8th and 9th grade, I brought this chick over. And, you know, did the regular stuff. Then my mom called me up just screaming at me. I was so scared. I thought I was going to get, like, grounded for months and months. And I was like, no, I didn't. I didn't do it. And she was like, you're going to get someone pregnant. You're going to do this and that. I was like, all right, well, I'm going to just wait for the right person. And, you know, fast forward 5 years, I'm still on that train. You know, I'm still just waiting for that right person. I think I haven't found the right person yet. I hope eventually I do, but in regard to sexuality, you know, a lot of people do be thinking me being a virgin is like maybe I'm like closeted or something, but I don't get where that thought process even comes from. Okay. Like for me personally, I'm just super comfortable with my sexuality. You know, people can say I'm gay, I'll be like, hey, fuck it, believe what you want. Like why would I be offended at someone calling me gay? Like I have so many gay friends and, you know, I completely, you know, love the gay community. So it's like, who am I going to care if you call me gay? Like, if I was, I'd be the gayest person there is. I'd lean into it. Okay. But no, it's just not me. You know, I think it's a great thing. Straight, gay, whatever. But yeah.
I like that.
What about you? Like, how do you navigate your, like, gay relationships, you know, with your supporters, friends, all that?
Okay, yeah, no, I mean, bro, like, well, first of all, I like what you said within everything else. I think that gives me a better understanding of why you are a virgin, and I hope you go about finding the right person. Yeah. I really do think that that's going to happen one day for you. You are 19 years old, so lucky for you. You got a lot of life to live. So
not too much of a rush.
Yeah. To navigate my love for gay people, I mean, bro, think about this. Like, a lot of the people that support me, of course, I support back. And, bro, like, the one thing that I really do truly love about gay people is their energy, bro. Like, that's something that you can't get from no one else. You know what I mean? Like, bro, for me, like, even when I go live on the Blue page, for an example, like, bro, they always hype me up. You know what I mean? Always in the comments and my DMs hyping me up. Yeah. I've never had one bad interaction with any gay person at all whatsoever. And I love it. And
I will say this in regard to the hyping up, dude, I don't think anyone does it like him. No girl, because, like, I feel like this may sound wrong, but just in the way that people are attracted, you know, men much more visually attracted than, you know, women. Of course. Whatever. Girls are much more about the vibes. You know, obviously, if you look good, it's better. Yeah. But, like, gay men being, like, the primary supporters, I would say, is, like, all right, they're really turned on literally just by me chilling. Girls, they want the vibes, right? They want everything. It's high maintenance or whatever.
Bro, majority of my friends are gay, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
Majority of them are. Most of my audience are. You know what I'm saying? And they all support me. You know what I'm saying? Like, what is there to not like? And plus, by the way, too, for me, it's like, bro, a lot of them be just, like, so nice to me in person, too. Like, always hugging me, saying, hi, Brandon, how are you? Like, I'm always, hi, how are you? Bro, never one bad interaction, you know? I feel like girls should be kind of like drama and all that stuff. Like, they always just wanted
drama.
They just want, like, tension. Like, bro, you know, exactly. But I don't know, bro. And a lot of people ask me, like, Brandon, so why do you do what you do? Like, what is it between you and Julian that you guys are so obsessed with the community? Bro, we just like to learn more about everything, bro. Like, it's literally what it is. And plus, too, like, when we first started doing the podcast and everything, like, you know, we were just, like, kind of just talking, you know, doing the podcast and all. And, bro, a lot of people within the community were like, we want more of this. We want more of you guys. We want more of this. So the one thing, too, that I truly love is giving the audience what they want. You know what I mean? And giving them what they love, you know? Bro, a lot of things that we...
I don't want to... I don't want to cut you off in regard to giving the people what they want. When you did your first, like, collab, right? Was that giving the audience what they wanted?
Okay, so basically within the first collab was actually an invitation for me because I was doing a lot of solo stuff. And then I had a homie who now is someone that I'm still actually really close with. He was like, yo, like I see you on Twitter. I think we should do a collab together. I'm like, okay, cool. So my first ever collab was more so just doing it for the first time. But luckily enough, the audience loved the creator. They love the creator. And of course, I built up a really good relationship with this creator. We're cool. We're friends. And so guess what? Now we're still collabing till this day and people love it. Bro, I'm telling you, like everything can more sort of kind of happen within itself, but just seeing the comments and seeing all the likes and all the love and the DMs, bro, like I think the audience really love what we do. And you know, I think until otherwise, I feel like this is never gonna end.
Yeah, I feel like the only way it could end, you know, AI take over. You know, they do an AI branding.
This AI stuff is crazy.
He'd be putting the, you know,
sure,
but it's AI.
But it's AI.
It's AI.
Bro, this AI stuff is insane.
Right now, my top spender on my page, great guy. He actually told me that he came from your page.
You said, oh, I do see him. Yeah, he hasn't really spent much on my page, to be honest with you. Like, he hasn't spent much in, like, the past 3 months.
Really?
Yeah, you said.
That's pretty much when I started my page, like 3 months ago, almost.
But like, what is he doing on yours?
He's right now, he's my #1. Like, you know, subscriber.
Oh, he's your #1 sub right now?
Yeah.
Interesting.
But you know, he doesn't really talk much.
Okay.
But he's a really cool guy. But 3 months.
So that's where he went.
I think, yeah.
Okay.
Unfortunately, but
no, it's okay. I see.
you know, everyone is enjoying the fun.
I see.
Yeah.
The Parker Reid experience.
Yeah, everyone's enjoying the Parker Reid experience. Okay. And I really do think it is cool as fuck though that we have like, despite being like different aesthetics or whatever, we do have similar like, you know, fan base, subscribers, all that good stuff. You know, even after the lives, we'd be just talking about, you know, who's been engaging, all that good stuff. So yeah, I mean, pretty much, I think this was cool. You know, we had another like sit down talk a couple months back, but I think this was the best one we definitely had up to this day. We're about to land in a bit, so I think that was definitely cool. What was your thoughts?
No, it's amazing, man. I just want to say congrats on everything, and I hope you keep on going. You know, never give up. And I really do hope that you go about wanting to do whatever you want to do in Parker Reid's life, and I hope you achieve many goals. And this is just one of them right here. So,
and you know what's crazy though is like you're going to Vegas, right? 7 days. I don't think since I've gotten here, I've gone more than 7 days in a row without seeing your face. So I think it's gonna be unique. I think I might get BCE withdrawals. Okay. But I'm about to head to New York, and, you know, for 4th of July, I'm going to gamble all my money. So, what, do you have any advice for me?
Yeah, don't do that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, just don't do it. And if you are going to, be very strategic and aware of, especially those that you're playing around. I mean, it depends. What are you playing?
Oh, Baccarat. Hey, you know what? I'm always playing Baccarat, but I want to play Blackjack.
But then when it comes to Blackjack, don't hit on a 16.
You know what? Every time I see Blackjack videos, they hit on 16, it's done. They always bust immediately.
Don't hit on a 16. That's all I'm gonna say. Good luck, and once again, thanks for having me on the Parker Reid experience.
Yeah. All right. Yeah. So, ladies and gentlemen, Brandon Cardoso. Where, I guess, out of formalities, where can people find you?
Brandon Wilden on IG or wildthings.vip/Brandon Cardoso for all the socials and that link.
Got it. And for me, you know, I actually recently just got a Wild Things link. You know, if you look up wildthings.vip/Parker. I am on there with all my links, but if you want to see me on IG, Parker Reid Wild.
There you go.
And until the next one.